What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital. We're here with Greg Liller, Executive Chairman and CEO of Sierra Madre Silver and Gold, and Alex Langer, CEO. How are you both doing today?
Well, thank you. And yourself?
Great. It's nice to have both of you on. So can you start by giving us an intro to Sierra Madre and tell us, a little bit more about the company?
Yeah, absolutely, Aaron. Thanks so much for having us. Sierra Madre Gold and Silver is an exploration and future development company that is working towards consolidating the area in and around Nayarit, Mexico. Greg and I started this company about 4 years ago, along with a few other partners. When we founded the company, there really wasn't an early stage silver company that you could invest in. Something that if you wanted kind of early stage that could grow to a junior mid tier, your options were limited. Of course, if you wanted silver, there was Pan American. I've always been a big fan of Fortuna, First Majestic. But if you really wanted that early stage high reward investment, your choices were limited. The area around Nayarit has a fair amount of production right now. There are small kind of private mines, there are mills, precious metals processing facilities, but no one's really consolidated the area, and that is our plan. Our goal is to have our 3 to 5 year goal is to have 50 to 100 million ounces of silver, as well as production from 2 or 3 of these points, kind of utilizing a hub and spoke mining scenario. Something that's modular, which can grow into a larger facility as our projects come online. It just allows the company to grow economically, lower CapEx to start. Why Mexico? Why Nayarit? Well, it's really to do with Greg Liller. Greg is our COO and executive chairman. He's been in Mexico since 1993. He's an exploration geologist by training, but he's ran and operated numerous mines. He's actually had 7 of his projects turn into mines, including a few very successful M&A transactions, including one for over $750 million US. One thing that has been consistent with all of his projects that were eventually taken out was that they were all taken out once in production. You'll see a lot of companies, raise a bit of money, drill out our projects, and then, hope to be taken out for $1 gazillion. It happens, but it's fairly rare. We are also very active in M&A. We are looking at a few other projects to kind of bring into this hub and spoke scenario. So we are trying to consolidate the area. Our first project, Topeka, I'll quickly touch on that. We acquired that at the same time as we started the company. Its previous operators actually had a market cap of over 150 million US during its peak. But more importantly, they spent about 20 million US in the ground in terms of exploration work. They did over 31,000 meters of drilling. We have all of that information. They did a bunch of metallurgical work and a number of different resources. I think there's about 6 of them in total. The last 2 were, one was over 10 million ounces of silver equivalent, and the other one was about 18 million ounces of silver equivalent, depending on which cutoff grade. Those are both historic, but for us, it's an excellent start. And that's what we're trying to do. We're pushing Topeka forward, as well as consolidating the area.
Awesome. I'm excited to cover the story. So the company recently announced the drilling has commenced at their 2,600 hectare Topeka Silver Gold project. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, well, first a little bit about Topeka. Whenever I look at projects, I've got a checklist that I go through. And one of those is infrastructure. The Topeka project's excellent. Good highways, it's paved road, all except the last 3 miles or 3 kilometers into the project. Good air transportation in the area. So it's just kind of really ideal from an infrastructure standpoint. As Alex said, we have over 31,000 meters worth of drilling that's been done. We've got all that core. Our drilling program is basically a confirmation program of that drilling. We're coming in with RC drilling, twinning the holes. There were some issues with core recovery by the previous operator. Is very poor. In fact, the last historic resource that was done, they specifically declined to call anything measured because of that. So this program is designed to confirm that. That'll allow us to get measured and to see if there might be a pickup in grade by getting full recovery out of it. So it's just a first step. We've got 67 holes permitted now. We're going to add more to that. We want to get it up to around a couple hundred permitted. That permitting work's underway. One of the other things I look at when I look at projects is overlooked opportunity. The previous operator never had a base map to work with, an accurate topo map. They did very little surveying. So we've now surveyed all the drill holes. It's the first time they've had good topographic control on that. But you really can't evaluate a project without a good base map. So one of the first things we did with our private seed money was contract to have current satellite imagery obtained. And from that, we've got a topo map that's been constructed to give us a good model on that. With that in hand, we started a project-wide mapping program, starting with what we call the central area, which is where most of all the previous work had been done, and then working out from there. Another thing I found when I visited the project during due diligence was there was just a lot more alteration there than I could account for with the previously mapped out structures. There were around 3.5 kilometers of vein breccia that had been mapped and drilled in the past. Within the central area alone, by the time we got done with our detailed mapping, we'd found over 10 kilometers worth of veins and breccias. So the project had a whole lot more upside than what the previous operator had found. The eastern area, there had been no work done on at all. And when we first commenced mapping over there, we found a structure with some old Spanish workings on it. It's over 1 kilometer long now, Taunas, and it's returned grades in excess of 600 grams equivalent silver just on the recon sampling. Again, this has not been looked at in the past. The northern area has a lot of recent basalt in it, but there are hills and places where erosion has incised arroyos down through that basalt. And we're finding a lot of altered ground there, a lot of vein breccia in the float. One of the arroyos that gives us a good outcrop, it's returned over 600 grams of silver equivalent in reconnaissance sampling. So the project is a whole lot bigger than what people initially thought. And again, it's just one of the other things I look at is how the resources were calculated or estimated, I should say, in the past. And I emphasize their resource estimations, not calculations. This is something a lot of people don't understand. So you have to look at the parameters that they were done under, and is there opportunity for improvement there just because of the parameters they chose. Both Alex and I were founding directors of Prime Mining. I was the COO there for the first year or so. And that's why I agreed to go on there, was in looking at the past data at Los Reyes, I saw opportunity in the actual resource estimation area and the way it had been done in the past. And at that time, the most recent historic ones seemed to be low to me compared to the past ones. And again, looking at the parameters, that something was up there. And yeah, lo and behold, it turned out that we went from, I don't know, what was it, 600,000 ounces to over 1 million, just by doing some surface trenching and no drilling. Again, it was just a feature of modeling it. So I emphasize again, these are estimations, not calculations. And there's always room for improvement or a different look at things in those opportunities.
Wonderful. So your Topeka Silver and Gold project is located in the state of Nayarit, Mexico. Can you tell our viewers more about this mining jurisdiction and why you have chosen to focus on it?
Yeah, I've always viewed Nayarit as being underexplored and not having gotten the attention perhaps it should have. It was one of the early colonial producers. I think it was producing silver and gold in the mid 1500s. So it was very early on during the Spanish conquest. But it just really hasn't gotten a good look historic. Nobody's gone in with the idea of consolidating everything and putting it all together. As Alex said, we're looking for multiple production centers, the spokes to feed a hub processing facility. So I think the opportunity is there. It's relatively tight, shall we say, in terms of aerial extent. So yes, we're focusing on that, and we're actively negotiating on some other projects right now in the Nayarit area.
Awesome. So what's the one thing you're most excited about for Sierra Madre in the next 6 to 12 months?
Just the growth in the resources, both at Topeka and at the projects we're looking to acquire. We're aiming to be a mid-tier producer in a fairly short period of time. Like Alex said, we want to be in production within the next 2 or 3 years. It's quite ambitious, but I know the first project I had in Mexico was a heap leach gold mine in Sonora. We started that in September of '93 and had our first gold pour by April of '96. So it can be done. That's one of the beauties of working in Mexico, is that permitting strictly an engineering issue. The politics generally stays out of it in most areas. And Nayarit I view as one of those areas. So it's nice to be able to move fast and not get hung up in decades worth of permitting.
Definitely. So when it comes to commodity prices in the current market that we're in, what is your outlook on the market, let's say over the next 1 to 2 years, specifically for gold and silver, of course, silver?
Sure, I'll take this one. Thanks, Aaron. I honestly believe we're in the start of a commodity super cycle here. It's about 2 years in now if you look at the precious metals, but the runway is still very significant. When we started to peak, I think silver was around $12 an ounce, and even at those prices, the economics were fine, to be honest. So today's prices, we're expecting them to be excellent, and allows you to drop your grade a little bit and bring in more resources, which is great. What I personally really like about silver, and these thoughts are just my own, is it's not just a store of value like gold, but it's used in a lot of different industries, EV batteries, solar, medicine, semiconductors, lots of different things. So the demand is really from anywhere. It's not just the store of value. I think the silver squeeze thing has really helped kind of shine a light, at least brought silver to the map for a lot of the new investors, especially the Robin Hood type styles. I remember, silver investors kind of through the last cycle, they're still around, but they're very vocal and really believe in it when the time is right. And this whole silver squeeze thing has really just broadened that investor base, which is huge. And the amount of information that's out there, especially on silver manipulation, and it allows people to learn and to follow it, only will dwell for the long-term price of silver. I think when things really take off, we'll see it run again.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely a bull myself
as
well.
Oh, good.
So what's the best way for investors to get in touch with you or learn more information about the company?
Yeah, definitely our website, super simple. Just Google Sierra Madre Gold and Silver, you'll be able to find us. It has our phone number, our email address. We've done a bunch of videos. If you go to our website, we've done an amazing kind of new drone video. It has Greg, a bunch of the geologists we have on site, and a lot of the work that we found out recently. So take your time, go through the website, lots of information, lots of stuff to learn. And we're around anytime to chat, and we'll hopefully give you guys an update as some of these news catalysts come forward. And we look forward to sharing that here shortly.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I look forward to covering the story, and hope you guys have a good day.
Thank you as well, Aaron. Cheers.
All right, guys, that wraps up the video. Thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to say, if you do support me, the channel, and all these videos, then kindly smash that like button along with hitting the subscribe button and the bell for notifications for future videos. I did also want to say, check the disclaimer down below. This video was sponsored by the company that we are talking about today. So check the disclaimer, full disclosure, and we're out of here. Always remember, guys, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you make your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. We'll see you guys in our next video.